The trail is a 9-mile loop, starting at Spurgeon Hollow Lake looping north, towards Delaney Creek State Park, then continuing east and south connecting to the Knobstone Trail. The Knobstone Trail is a rugged trail that goes approximately 60 miles through the southern Indiana hills. The trail then turns west, diverging from the Knobstone Trail to return to the trailhead at Spurgeon Hollow Lake. The Spurgeon Hollow Trail is situated in the middle of the Washington and Jackson State Forest. The Spurgeon Hollow Trailhead is reached from a county road a few miles off, State Highway 135. Then, the county road down a gravel lane, crossing through a couple of dry stream beds. They arrived around 1:30 p.m. on Friday, June 12, 2020. It was a sunny day with low humidity in the upper 70s, which is why we chose to hike. This day from the trailhead, the path continues for a quarter-mile or so and parallels the lake on your right and steep, thickly wooded hills on your left. At this point, the trail splits to begin the loop. You can go left up the steep hillside. It is several hundred feet climb, or continue on your right along the lake. On this initial trailhead path, they heard two distinct knocks. They had gone most of the quarter-mile. They heard the first sharp knock, then a second knock, both in the same general area up the steep slope to the left. They stopped and looked, but could not see anything because of the dense vegetation. There was no other sound. The knocks were sharp and moderately loud. They sounded like a baseball coming off a bat. There were no other people on the trail, no one at the lake. My girlfriend stopped and looked back at him. He asked her if she heard those knocks. She, of course, made fun of him and said, "Oh, it's a squatch." She hadn't heard anything. They continued on. They took the left trail up the steep slopes, and for the next 6 miles went up and down steep inclines, crossed several creeks. Then about 3 hours later, the trail turned left, diverging from the Knobstone Trail, heading back towards Spurgeon Hollow Lake. The trail at this point parallels a large creek bed at the bottom of hills. They had gone a mile or so to reach the trailhead. There was a knock, a very loud knock. They both stopped dead. His girlfriend's eyes were wide as saucers. She said, "That was loud." He laughed and said, "So what do you think that was?" The knock sounded again like the crack of a baseball coming off of a bat. It came from the steep hilltop above them. They scanned the ridgeline, but could not see much. It was just too thick. They heard the brief sound of something moving in the brush up high, but that was it. He asked her, "Don't you want to stay and see if something else happens?" She said, "No, I want to go." So they started walking. A couple of times they would stop and scan the hills.